Hello, it's Miranda the Cheeky Chef. I thought I'd be pretty in pink today. I do like this colour, and I haven't been able to wear this top for ages, and you may have noticed that I have got slightly thinner over my videos over time. Anyway, today we're going to make shepherd's pie with a twist, as always. I'm going to use some chicken mince and some pork mince, mushrooms, some onion, stock cube, some Worcester sauce, some red wine, gravy powder rather than gravy granules, and then we're going to do cheesy mash for the top. Okay, the other thing I'm going to add is some garlic, just a bit. That is optional, you don't have to put it in, but we are a bit of a garlic household, so we do like it in lots of. I'm also going to add some red lentils. This helps spread the meal out and it makes the amount of meat you use go much further. I've bought the pork mince and the chicken mince, which obviously are cheaper than beef mince, but with the flavourings from the mushrooms and the stock cube and the Worcester sauce, it will have a much more beefy, earthy flavour. But adding some lentils not only adds your fibre, but it also means the mince goes much further, so always good for saving money. You're also going to need mustard just to bring out the flavour of the cheese in the mash, because we're doing cheesy mash. You're also going to need tomato ketchup for a splash. It just adds a slight sweetness, which is really nice. Right, first thing to do for the shepherd's pie is to boil your potatoes. So I've just boiled mine. Takes about 10-12 minutes depending on what size you have. I'm going to strain them, then I'm going to add an egg yolk because it adds to the richness, and some milk, and then the cheese because we're making cheesy mash to go on the top of the shepherd's pie. It's really worth it, honestly. So first of all, I'm just going to add a splash of milk. This will help to cool the potatoes a little bit before I add the egg yolk. I'm going to start by mashing the potatoes, mash that in, then add about 50 grams of butter. Now I'm going to add the egg yolk. And now I'm going to add the cheese, and because I'm adding cheese, I'm going to add my favourite ingredient, English mustard, to bring out the flavour of the cheese. Half a teaspoon of English mustard. I'm going to add 100 grams of cheese. I've got 150 grams here, so I'm going to save 50 grams to just sprinkle on top when it goes in the oven. So we just sprinkle that in. Just mix that in with the fork. I'm going to add a little bit more milk, just a touch. That should do. If you're being really decadent, you can add cream, but I've only got milk in the fridge, so we're just having. Okay, then that's ready to go on top once we've cooked the mince. So now we're going to fry off the mince ready for the shepherd's pie and add all the ingredients. I'm going to put the onions straight in with the mince so they all cook together. You don't need to add any fat, it'll be fine. Okay, now the chicken and pork is starting to change colour. A teaspoon of garlic paste, the stock cube, this is a beef stock cube, some Worcester sauce, and about 100 ml of red wine. Now I'm going to add the mushrooms and the lentils. So this is 50 grams of red lentils. And I've rinsed the lentils before I've put them in. The mushrooms will release liquid and the lentils will absorb it. And of course, salt and pepper. I'm going to add a splash of tomato ketchup now, about 2 tablespoons. Right, now I'm going to make up some gravy sauce. I'm going to put a heaped teaspoon of gravy powder in the cup, just a little bit of water just to thicken it. Make sure there's no lumps, and then half a cup of water, and then that's going to go in as well. And then that just gets poured straight onto the mince mixture, and that will thicken once it comes to a boil. That's now ready to go in the pie dish and have the mashed potato put on top. If you want to use gravy granules, you can, but obviously the Bisto powder or gravy powder is so much cheaper to use. So now the mash has been put on top of the shepherd's pie mix, and I'm just going to add the sprinkle of cheese just as the final flourish. I hope you enjoy this. I'd love to know how you get on. Using the chicken and pork mince makes it cheaper than beef mince, and it's better for you and healthier for you. Although I know we've got cheese on the top. But this is going to feed easily 4 to 6 people. And what I've actually done is I've made a separate portion for my mum and dad, like here. So that's how much you're making. So it's easily going to feed 6, maybe more. I hope you enjoy it. Let me know how you get on. So here we have the beautiful shepherd's pie, all cooked and ready to serve. We are going to have this with shredded courgettes and carrots. I hope you enjoy yours as much as we enjoy ours.